Hey everybody, I'm pretty damn excited. We're going to be posting our first podcast on YouTube within the next day or two. But I wanted to give you a little introduction about the gentleman that I had the opportunity to have a conversation with. To let you know, first of all, his name is Greg Higgins. And I met him through a mutual friend by the name of Michael Hazen, who I used to work with back in the day. And Greg is an artist, an incredible human being, beautiful man, raising two daughters. And, you know, his story is pretty unique. We don't get into it really in depth, but he's been an artist practically his whole life. One of those kind of guys. And we talked about the fact that, yeah, just about everybody he knows, they're constant. You know, he hears all the time, I can't even draw a stick man. And that would pretty much be me. So I create my art in a little different ways and have an opportunity to express myself creatively when I get out on the trails and run, when I sit down with my guitar, when I write. And now we'll see about this podcasting thing. But Greg and I are going to be involved in a venture together. And we're in the interview, the time we spent together starts by describing what we're going to be involved with, what we're trying to build. And it's something we're calling crowd art. It's going to be the opportunity to take art into a community and either express a message of diversity, compassion, love, peace on a pretty grand scale, and bring the community together to express a beautiful work of art in a public place so that it serves as a reminder. I hope you enjoy it. I hope the sound quality and the videography are not too distracting. And man, oh man, did I learn a lot in this very first inaugural podcast. Because when I am engaged in a casual conversation, I'm like the other person's cheerleader, and I do a lot of oh man, that's cool, yeah, and that doesn't play real well in the world of like doing a journalistic interview. I learned that because I've listened to it, and I'll be practicing. The second part of our conversation, we just sat down and started to rap and talk about life. And he began to share with me, you know, some of the guys that one of the guys that he turns to, his name is Jack. So I refer to that segment of it as Be the Jack. We have them in our lives. These people that speak into our lives with beautiful, beautiful wisdom and mad love for our best. And hopefully every one of us also have the opportunity to be the Jack for a few folks. So I hope you enjoy this. Blessings. Mad love to everybody. And if you'd do us a favor, share it. So, by the way, I'm talking with Greg Higgins of Greg Higgins Art, and we're hooking up for the first time. We've had a couple of conversations over the phone, and I walked in, and Greg had something ready to go to illustrate what we want to do with crowd art. bring people together, give them the opportunity to express art in a very visual, colorful way, soulful. So we've had a couple of conversations about having the opportunity to express visually, an opportunity for communities to come together, and hopefully, you know, I think Greg and I have talked enough that it would be diverse communities coming together to express some common connection and contribution and service. And well, this is taking shape pretty good, my brother.
It starts coming along.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Really, you know, I kind of want to say a little effortless because, you know, it kind of is. That's the thing that's joyous about it. And another thing people like to do is paint. When I did the school mural, so many people just like, oh yeah, they love to get the little brush and the paint, and if they're not obligated to make it pretty, they really turn on. They really switch on. They just go, oh wait, I can do this absolutely the way I want, and then they'll just tighten up later. Then they switch on. They go, oh, so there's no obligation to them, because most people paint just better than this, but this is an example of how bad it can get. You know, but in a fun way, you know, just how loose it can get, I guess, you know.
Yeah, loose, and yet look what's happening.
Yeah, just,
you know it's amazing.
Together. I'm not putting a timer on this, but, and I would do, you know, the work, the prep work would be a much tighter game, but this is just an example of how quick it can happen. Like, say for example, you have, you know, 2 hours to do something at a party. Most people's attention span at some sort of a party or event, and I just did an event where I did this painting live, and I came there with this. It was at a Filmed by Bike event, film festival, all things filmed by bicycles, using bicycles and the subject matter being bicycles.
Right on.
So I just did this at an event, and it took all of 2 hours, and that's about the amount of time people had to mess around,
that's obviously a GoPro on the guy's head.
Yeah. Panavision GoPro.
Yeah, I'm digging that, man. That would be our generation's version of a GoPro right
Most
there.
Definitely, right?
Yeah, I'm digging it. Right.
You gotta give it.
So in addition to being an artist, what were you doing in? What else were you doing in Vegas? Because I don't think you were totally making your entire livelihood with your art at the time.
No, I wasn't. I had my select group of clients, but I knew that going into the art world or whatever was going to take a lot of work, and I was going to have to hone my chops, so I drove a garbage truck.
Right. So why, of all the things, come on, Greg, of all the freaking things, all the fucking things you could have ever done, why that? Was there, you know, it sounds like you studied stoicism or something. You know,
you know, there's a ton. There was a huge amount of freedom.
You know, checking you out as a garbage man, it's, you know, it's a far cry, man.
It is a far cry. It's similar in the way that it still gives me my, you know, my solitude and my peace of mind, and you know, garbage is not a puzzle. That's also what I like.
Right.
You know, electricians, they're badasses. It's super heady work. It's very, there's a lot of crucial elements that if you mess up, but garbage is, you just need to be a good driver. And a tough.
So this would be an example, and I don't think I had my video running at the time, but this would be an example of like a biker. A memorial service or a wake for a biker.
Exactly. This could be easily something like that. I mean, there are going to be, you know, likely everybody has a family. There's going to be kids. There's got to be something to lighten the mood.
Yeah, exactly.
And still pay tribute, but lighten the mood and just keep it a little more, you know, bright colors as everybody relax. And the same with communities that have been totally damaged by horrific events. You know, I mean, pick a horrific event.
Yeah. Well, you and I over the phone, we talked about Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
There you
things
go.
like that.
There you go. So this could be easily something really cool, like say a person that died tragically was into flowers,
Yeah.
hyacinths.
Yeah.
So I would do a big, beautiful hyacinth, and everyone
Yeah.
would gather around and paint that,
Yeah,
and
right.
join in on creating
Yeah.
something that was special to that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a perfect example.
Again, Greg and I are talking about crowd art and giving people who may not be artists by trade or by nature the opportunity to create and express artistically and visually and in community. So Greg, I want to get into a little bit about what we were talking about before, just that, you know, the where you've come to in life with life itself, you know, maybe the deeper stuff that has influenced you and informed you about who you are on the planet and how the hell you ever ended up doing what you do now.
Well, you know, it's just kind of like with everybody. You have that journey, you know, and then you like, you know, even when I was young, it was like the art is kind of it has a way of, it's cathartic, you know. You work stuff out. It's healing.
Yeah.
You know, it has a way of healing you, and
Yeah.
I think of all the stuff that, you know, and I'm not alone in this. People go through stuff. You get divorced. You have kids. You have some tragedies. People have all kinds of stuff that happens. It's not always good, and people have to have a way to work that out.
Yeah.
You know, a way that makes them happy and helps them achieve some sort of a balance or a closure or whatever. It's you know, I don't consider it anything different than anyone else is doing. I just think it's a very helpful way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of things a lot of people that I know and a lot of people I run into, they just don't have a way to do it, and it's frustrating. It becomes very frustrating for them. You know, and I think this offers an excellent way, because I know for me it works.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy, and I figure, well, you know, I feel okay. And an opportunity to help someone else feel okay is, I relish that opportunity.
Right.
It means a lot to me to be able to see other people be happy and find their way.
Yeah.
You know, I work hard at finding mine. I think we all do, and we all use different methods. I think I'd like to I always try and turn people onto the stuff that works for me, because you never know.
Right. So do you have any particular philosophy that you followed in your journey, or, you know, you and I have talked about punk music, you know, influencing some of,
Yeah.
and we talked about, you know, that blend of aggression or power
Yeah.
and calmness.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I seek to. That's my main core that I came into with punk rock, was that it had that aggression to it.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
married with compassion.
Yeah.
And I think that level of aggression and compassion runs on a parallel
Yeah,
line. You know,
right.
and I like to try and stay in that
Yeah,
line,
cool.
stay on that line.
Yeah.
And this helps me do it. I mean, my art helps me do it. My way of thinking helps me kind of stay
Yeah.
there. And not only do I want to be there, but I want to seek it out.
Right.
'Cause I think there's a need to be aggressive. There's a need to be assertive. You know,
Yeah.
there's you know, you have this life and you can do what you want with it. But just sitting around and waiting, we all know that. So this is what could be going on while folks could be hanging with me, or just seeing.
Right.
Seeing, this is where this to me is an example right there where someone would go, oh, yeah, that looks pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
and not like they're gonna think, I can be an artist, I do have it, but maybe they think, you know, that was really easy,
Right.
and it looks pretty good,
Yeah.
and I'm stoked on that, and this brings
Yeah.
me joy, and it
Yeah.
wasn't that hard.
Right.
You know, and what I'm doing, this is all artist grade, fast, just
Yeah.
strokes. You know,
Yep.
and it just tightens it up incredibly, and I think it helps people see not only is this a good way to have conversation with a group of people, but I think it's a
Right.
good way for people to see just plain creative energy
Yeah.
at its
Yeah.
at its most simple.
In its flow, man.
In its flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the flow of creative energy and the joy it brings, because by now everybody is happier than they were.
Right on. Yeah.
Everyone's in the crowd is going to be happier than they were when they got there, because they're having a blast doing this.
Yep.
They're relaxing, talking. If it is for some sort of a community building thing that was,
Yeah.
you know, if it was a community building thing where the community's been struck with some kind of tragedy,
Right.
and everybody's, after they're working on this, they're happier than they were because they're there and they're together. And they're
Yeah.
sharing time. And they're
Right.
sharing creation, which after destruction, creation's got to follow.
Wow,
You
dude.
know, and then that
Yeah.
just
Talk more about that. That's.
that helps it go.
Yeah. That's. You know. That's one of those big, huge life things.
Yeah.
Is because destruction's gonna come.
What do you do
And
about
and
it?
then what the hell's gonna come on the other side of destruction?
Exactly.
Right.
What's going to come on the other side
Right.
of the destruction is creation. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's cyclical.
Right.
You
And
know,
what's
so of all this, go ahead.
yeah? Well, even this piece that you're doing right now is you got it all right here. It's death, glory, or death. You
Yeah.
know.
And it's a cheeky way to say it,
Yeah.
but you know, there's a level of humor to that
Right.
that I think that I can agree with.
Yeah.
You know, it's death or glory or death.
Yeah. Or
you know?
death. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Because on the heels of destruction, one of the choices, dude, is you could stay dead. You
Yeah.
could not get back up.
Exactly. So are you going to get kicked down, and you're going to let your community get kicked down, or are
Yeah.
you going to get kicked down because you've lost somebody?
Right.
You know, or when you're in the midst of celebrating something, are you going to bear it in mind that you're very fortunate?
Yeah.
That things could be worse.
Right.
All these things are going to be factors in your
Yeah.
life, and while you're creating other things to happen in your life, you always have to have it back in the back of your mind. You know, I'm pretty lucky here. This could
Yeah.
be worse, or
Hell yeah.
I could be dealing with other circumstances, or I have
Yeah.
friends right now that are in a worse place than me. And
Yeah.
I've got to appreciate this.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of, I think it brings a level of humility that's important
Yeah.
for us to consider and to keep part of our day to day. You know, people say that there hasn't always been violence, you know, that's occurring now. It's just now there's cameras, and you know,
Right.
cameras are an artistic medium
Yeah.
too.
Exactly.
So
That's.
it's art that's still bringing us
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so art's always going to kind of bring the truth, you know,
Yeah.
whether you kind of want it or not. I think this type of thing brings a good truth.
Yeah.
It brings the truth that people can just hang out together and make something pretty.
Yeah.
At the core, at its very core, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think people would. So this took all of,
We're at 33 minutes.
yeah.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah. Killer.
You know, I can play with this if you really want it.
Yeah.
You don't really need to. You know, whatever. So then that took all of a half an hour.
Yeah.
To kind of just do.
Yeah. Now, how long did it take you to do the black line, to get it ready for being able to be painted? Well, you did that this morning, you said.
Oh, that black line?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
what?
took 10 minutes. that I did super fast.
Yeah.
Just as a
Yeah.
because that was it. Just
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
you know, I had no idea you were gonna we were gonna do some performance art as well
Yeah,
as
there
visual
you
stuff.
go.
No, this is
Well, see, this is what
Yeah.
I wanted. This is what I wanted us to meet
Yeah.
and do.
Right.
Because I want to show an example of this is how it would go. This
Yeah.
is the process.
so. For those of you that know me, this won't come as a surprise, but for those of you that don't, I had a nickname for a while called Squint Butt, and that was in reference to I was so uptight you couldn't get a grease BB up my ass. So when I walk into Greg's apartment today, you know, I'm not that guy anymore either, because we just go with the flow.
Yeah.
No, this is beautiful stuff, man.
We all have, you know, the capacity to change. Even
Yeah,
even squint butt.
Absolutely, it's, you know, transformation is what
Yeah.
we're up to, man. That's
Exactly.
and that when it comes right down to it, there isn't a greater expression of being creative.
Yeah.
Is creating and recreating your own freaking life.
Transform.
Yeah.
Metamorphosized.
All the time.
Have your journey and don't be afraid to take it. In total, I mean, not that that's anything special, but it's fun. And so at this point, you know, people could be just, hey,
yeah,
you know, taking pictures.
Right.
You know, we're here. Or
Yeah.
whatever. And then you could have the little photo booth if you wanted.
Yeah.
The couple is here. They're like this, and you take cool shots.
Yep.
And you run it up on a site. They can buy them, or they can just drag and drop them and have them for their screensavers, or just a fun memorial thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then there you have it.
That is very cool, man. So we're rolling up on all of 40 minutes.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Any money in his pocket or nothing like that, and so he spent a lot of time just cruising around and just being with no money and living and thinking and having that seclusion, having that level of, you know, just getting to know himself, I guess. And so, you know, he went on to do different things in business and had a lot of money, and then had times when he didn't have a lot of money.
Right.
And I've known him throughout all those times, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've known people that have had their ups and downs, and if they're grounded, they're amazing.
Yeah.
He can be sitting
the
in the
cool
lap
thing
of
about
luxury.
it, we're talking about Greg's friend Jack, and he's been kind of Greg's go-to guy.
Yeah.
When shit is, you know, when the wheels are coming off the bus and it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do now?
Yeah. He's the guy I turn to.
So, you know, there is that, and I would suspect, Greg, that when you talk to Jack, it's not so much that he's got advice for you, but he's got such a depth of experience in life that all he needs to do is share what's worked and what hasn't worked for him.
Exactly.
And maybe make some suggestions.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the key right there.
Right on.
It's not like you need to be told what to do. You just need to be.
Right.
You just need someone to talk to you who's told himself what to do.
Exactly.
You know? And felt good about what they told themselves.
And then you come up with your own. You come up with your own path.
Yeah.
But those suggestions from people that have walked in life in a way that you respect, shit, those are the teachers, man.
That's the teacher. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, lead by example, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, because I've known this guy when he's up and when he's down, and I've known a lot of people that have been up and down. I've been up and down. You know, I didn't have a ton of money, but I had more than I have now. Yeah. And I'm not that much different.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good to know that my core is where it's at, no matter where I'm at. You know, with the material stuff, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to come around to feeling and knowing. And I think knowing people like Jack was instrumental in me kind of, you know, every one of us needs that type of advice.
Yeah.
So like, read it, that helps you become better, and then hopefully pass that on.
Exactly.
I think it helps the wheel turn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I remember the term student sage. You know, and at our age, I never want to stop learning.
Yeah.
I never want to not have Jacks in my life.
Yeah.
I always want to have a fucking Jack in my life, man.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple.
Yeah.
But
that's great.
Also, we get to be the wise ones as well.
Yeah.
That we get to give what we've been given. And it's just that beautiful expression of,
you don't want to just have the Jack.
Right.
You want to be the Jack.
Be the Jack. Yeah, right.
Be the Jack sometimes for somebody else. You
totally.
Evolve and be the Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I went through a period of time with my kids that they were having nothing of me even resembling someone that would be like a Jack, right?
No. I'm not the Jack right now. I'm the jackass.
Yeah.
That's about it, you know.
Yeah.
You can be one or the other. In some people's eyes, you're just going to be that one right now.
Yeah, and it's all a matter of, you know, the perspective of the people that, you know, of where they're at, of how you're viewed at any point in time. So as you know, in relationship to your daughters,
Yeah.
You're going to go through a lot of different phases of
Oh yeah.
being shades of Jack.
Yeah.
or not.
Shades of Jack. Yeah, that's a good way to put it too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, by experience, it doesn't seem like it was too long ago. No matter what you said, they were down for.
Yeah.
Let's get pizza. Let's go on a road trip. And yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. There's no questions. And then it evolves into like, you know.
Right.
And so that kind of, you kind of have to stay the Jack through those times.
Yeah.
But I want to hear more about your deal with your truck and your trailer.
Yeah, it's this is a huge transition for me.
Yeah, that's big.
Raised a family and have owned a business and have lived here in the Northwest for 31 years.
Yeah.
And through the course of the wheels coming off the fucking bus.
Yeah.
For more than the first time.
Yeah.
I've taken stock in, I've got, I don't know how many years left. I'm 60 years old, which is pretty young.
Plenty.
Pretty young.
Plenty years left. You're
Damn.
all together
Hell yeah.
wonderfully. You
Plus,
look great.
plus day before yesterday, I climbed up to Camp Muir. So
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
So I've got a little bit of juice.
You got a lot in the tank.
And instead of staying put and doing what I thought was the responsible thing to do and have been raised to do, as opportunities have presented itself. I just paid my last month's rent on my cabin.
And you're rolling.
And I'm tomorrow picking up an RV and an old Ford truck, and I'm hitting the road. So I'm part of the recovery community. I've been sober for going on 5 years, and we've got a saying that it's usually not wise to compare my insides with your outsides.
Yeah.
So what I see you doing out there in the world,
Yeah.
it's rarely wise for me to be envious of what I think I see you doing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very well put. That's perfectly put. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. And that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And that's the way you have to think about it. You
Right.
can't be thinking on other people's terms,
Right.
Because they're telling you their opinion is they're asking you to live the way they do.
Right.
That doesn't need to be
Yeah.
that way. It's not a good route.
No. Well, it's not. It can't be a good route if it's not yours.
Exactly.
If it's not mine,
Yeah.
it's not a fucking good route.
Exactly. I like that, man. I like that.
Cool.
That's really
Now,
cool.
are you originally from here?
No.
That's okay.
No, I'm from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Okay, so you're from Las Vegas.
Yeah, born and raised.
Dude, okay.
Born and raised at Las Vegas, did the whole thing, worked, bought homes,
Yeah.
flipped them here and there.
Yeah.
And the place that I met Michael. I sold that place, I paid off another place.
Okay.
And I was in the throes of living pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, it came to be that I didn't want to, but we bought another place right at 2007, 2008.
Perfect. Yeah.
Got crushed by 2008 and had to move, had to find work.
Yeah.
So she found work in Seattle, and that's what took me there.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
And that whole trajectory, the next phase brought me down here, and that's how I ended up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird turn of events.
Here you go, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Here I go, doing other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting because, and I'll wrap it up, but me being here doing this right now has come from having come to the end of owning my company and having it not ending well.
Yeah.
And so from that, all of that, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of myself through this, but now what?
Yeah.
And you get to get on to some beautiful stuff. So
You do.
Yeah.
As much as you don't think, and at the time you're kind of fucking bummed.
Yeah.
But it really cuts you loose.
Totally.
It cuts you loose from a thing that you may have found it's lucrative and good and healthy, but a little burdensome.
Yep, totally.
And it's like someone just cut the rope and cut you loose, whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's somebody doing for me what I would have never done for myself at that time.
Exactly.
And it's done.
And it's
it gets done
begrudgingly-
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and begrudgingly though.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the inaugural, very first podcast YouTube video of Light in the Spoon Productions. My son Luke and I are on this adventure together, not knowing anything really about what we're doing, but it's been a damn good ride so far. I've shot photos in Bryce Canyon, climbed up to Camp Muir on Mount Rainier with a group of people, had the opportunity to be involved in some pretty cool stuff already. And this is just the next segment of what we want to create. And our invitation is to open up a platform for others that are looking to express themselves creatively. If you take a look at our website, www.lightinaspoon.com, you'll see a tab there called Types of Light. And those types of light are writing, photography, music, and so forth. And if you'd like to submit something to us, please do that. We'd be happy to post it, promote it. And also, I am just totally excited about continuing to express myself in a creative fashion, in a way that just kind of gets my motor running. So enjoy it. Do us a favor. Again, do us a favor and share this, because it can't get any more what do I want to say? that was a pregnant pause, because I don't know what the hell to say. This is our first one. We're new at it. That's what I'm saying. So give us a share. It would be much appreciated. Mad love to you guys. Take care.